how people should be thinking about really building up a profitable practice.
Wow, we're just going right for it. Yep, we can
I
talk
mean,
about
deep
it.
end.
So, this is something I speak a lot about. I was a general practice veterinary owner for 20 years. And
Mhm.
during about halfway through that period of time, I started a rehab practice within my GP practice and grew both sides of the practice and ended up selling both sides to corporate
Mm.
medicine almost 5 years ago.
Wow.
And I think the tough part for rehab is that so many folks want to make rehab fit in the same little box that GP practices are in. They want to price things the way you would price things for GP practice, and it's just not the same. I mean, the staffing costs are much higher, yet your COGS, or like your cost of goods sold, is much lower. So you just have to
Mm.
shift the perspective just enough and know that when you're setting your prices, you have to really take everything into account. You can't just think, okay, what are the people the next town over charging for rehab? Okay, that will work for me. That's not the way to do it. You have to think about all of your expenses that go into that 45-minute rehab appointment and
Yeah.
account for that. Set your price to account for that, plus some profitability. And then you're talking about making rehab profitable. And I think folks just don't think of it that way. And unfortunately, it gets this bad reputation that rehab isn't profitable. So most of the time, there's two main problems. Sorry, I could go on forever, Joe.
No,
I
please come
just
on. This, that's why I was like, let's just jump right in deep end because, yeah, I'm sorry.
most of the problem, there's two main issues. One, we're not charging enough.
Hmm.
Because I think for the most part, a lot of people get into rehab because they're kind of maybe they're a little burnt out from
Mm.
the running the mill of a GP practice in and out of appointments, and they really are just wanting to take a step back and really spend time with clients and really do a lot of hands-on things with the pet, and that's great, but you got to charge for that time. So we undervalue the specialized services that we can provide to our patients. So that's one thing. We're not charging enough, and we're not thinking about all the things that should go into that fee of a rehab session. And then the other thing is we're not efficient.
Mm.
The problem is, you get one
Mm.
person certified in rehab to try to run a rehab department. One person can only do so much in an 8-10 hour day. So really what needs to happen, if you have a bigger facility and you have all the fancy toys, you've got to be able to pay for that. You have to have more than one person doing the services. So you've got to have a team, a well-trained team, to be able to
Bingo.
execute all of these services. And so that's where, CRI comes in. I mean, we do a lot of training. And, for me, I own CRI, I run CRI, which I love, but I still have a practice, right? So I have a rehab team actually in class right now,
That's
finishing up
awesome.
a certification. Yeah, they are sitting just in a room away from me getting certified. And I'm certifying my assistant, I'm certifying my receptionist, I'm certifying my last remaining technician who hadn't gone through the program because I
Wow.
want top to bottom everybody in my practice to know why what we do is important.
Yep.
Not just rehab is cool, rehab is fun, like all the science behind all the things that we do that really change lives for these pets and for their owners.
Well, one, I think that's beautiful, and this is why I felt the actual need just to kind of dive right in into this because the fact that you're doing both, where you're running an actual practice and running CRI, I mean, that could eat up most people's